Well, hello YouTube. Long time no see. So what am I up to at the minute? I am still forging. I have done a lot more forging of flint strikers, and I've even made a quite nice primitive knife. What I've had a go at is making a gas powered forge, but even though obviously I've used an aerosol can for this part, just a copper pipe for the blower to go in, I did drill some holes at the back to let more air go in, because I had trouble with the torch just going out. But a lot of the ones I've seen, the torch goes in through the side, so I don't know whether that's affecting it. That's not broken accidentally. I got annoyed with it and I thought, shall I just scrap it? Whacked it with a lump of steel and it bust that off, so it only broke that bit, so it's obviously quite solid. So I'm going to stick with charcoal forging, or even using coal. So what I've built over here, cutting a gas bottle in half, is this quite nice little forge. Now what I've done is I've cut the pipe down, because I originally cast it that long, so I've cut that down. Now I've got this bit that I can slide inside, and I've also got some more pipe over here, which is off an old shop stand that I cut off, so I can use that, tape it onto the forge excuse me, and then I've got the air dryer going in. Now originally I did just have the mortar literally on top of the pipe with 3 holes drilled into the pipe, so it sends in a really good jet of air. But then I thought, well, what about if the pipe gets that hot it'll melt? Because I did try and weld it into the forge. I tried to weld it here and I tried to weld it at the back, and with my stick welder, well, my friend's stick welder, it just got that hot it melted the steel pipe. So I really gave up at the front because I didn't want to make a mess of the steel pipe. The gas bottle, fine, that's thick enough, because what I've done is I've welded some wing nuts to the side on the inside of the gas bottle, so that this mortar is gripped and held into the gas bottle, so that if I did tip it out, it wouldn't just drop out like falling out of a mould. Because as you can see with this one, even though it's got a hole in this side, that side didn't. It's just quite smooth, so it literally just drop out. So what I thought I'd do is fold some cardboard, put that over the top of the air holes, and put another mix of cement and this washed sand that I believe they took out the swimming pool filter. It's lacking the fine particles because it's been through a filter, so it's only larger particles. I've got some garden wire and I made a coil of it, dropped that in the bottom, only 1mm thick, but in the cement, an inch of cement, hopefully that will hold that in place. And it hasn't broken up after a day, and it is hard to touch, it's going off. So I'll burn this out with a blowtorch another day, and then it'll be ready. And as you can see, this forge is a lot shallower and smaller than the other one that I use at home. So I'll hopefully, well, definitely will use less charcoal with this forge. So I've got this tin here. I filled that up with punk wood. Show you a bit what I've got going off here as well. This is some yew. I was cutting a hedge, so I kept all the nice straight bits. Some I've cleaned off to use as bow drill spindles. Just a piece of oak here, made a simple mallet for, well, malleting. I've got some gauze, some unpeeled gauze, so hopefully it'll dry slowly and not twist. Things are falling off the table here. This is some peeled gauze. That's dried out too quickly, so it splits really bad. It looks like a cactus wood, this stuff. I've tried gauze spindles on hazel, but I haven't tried gauze on gauze yet. So gauze is that green, very spiky bush with lovely yellow flowers. So I've cut a piece in half to let it dry a bit quicker. So I will be trying that out. So in here I've got gauze spindle, I've got white oak, common oak, hazel. I've got woods from silver birch, cherry, hazel. I think this one is lime, but I wasn't quite sure. I also marked it down as hawthorn because I've got a piece of hawthorn here, and when I've peeled the bark it looks similar. Earth boards as well. I've got willow. We all know that works brilliant with hazel. I've got punk elder. Now this had Jew's ears fungus growing on it, and I collected this originally for the hand drill, thinking with it being punky it will be easier to drill. No, and it's not even very good for the bow drill. As you can see, I've had 2 attempts with the bow drill, just made a load of dust, but not even the right kind of dust to build an ember from. So on the wall here I've just got a couple of pot hangers to replace the one at the bushcraft site, because, well, that's another story for another day. And then I've got a very large primitive bow. I have made a couple of other bows, but same as most things, when I make something and I really like it, I take it home because I'm going to use it more at home. But this is for my dinner time practice. But at the minute, at dinner times, I've been doing lots of wood carving, been making spatulas, and then just lately I've been doing work on the forge. So if you ask how I make the forge, how I cast the forge, it's very simple. The answer's right here. I've got a bucket, an old bucket, and I cut the bottom off and I cut the rim off, so it's just flexible plastic now. And I roll it in on itself until I've got the size I want, and then I either zip tie it, cable tie, tie wrap, or garden wire, which I've done in this case. You can see just sticking through. And then when I'm ready to take that out, just undo the wires on the inside and roll it into itself so it pulls away from the outside, and then lift it up. I've not used anything posh like foundry cement or anything like that. This is just sand off on the floor in the yard that they took out the swimming pool filter. That's what I heard. That's exactly the same as what I've done on that gas bottle forge there, and it is rock solid. Now the forge I've been using at home, and you've seen on Instagram and the last couple of YouTube videos, that was sand I just dug out the ground, literally sieved it, so I got no stones. There is some pebbles in here, but it's only like pea gravel. But as I'm only forging with this, and it's not a blast furnace like I built years ago, I was very careful just to use just sand for that, even though that did come out the ground as well. I dug that up out the ground local to where I was living at the time. Just just as you do, go and dig a big hole and take the sand home and make something with it. So fingers crossed nothing will happen here. With the one at home, it started to crack a little bit on the edges and peel in a bit, but at the end of the day I've made this for nothing. This gas bottle was scrap. Okay, the sand is just going to get washed away, turned into nothing. A bit of cement and scrap metal and paint from home. That's the same paint I've used to paint some of my car, because I had to change some panels on my car because it was rotten. What else? Cutting discs. I've bought cutting discs for making my flint strikers out of old files. I am looking into buying some normal carbon steel so that I can make some more authentic traditional flint strikers for like reenactors and things like that. As well as having a go at making a knife, I would like to have a go at making a fork and a spoon, do a complete cutlery set. I would like to have a go at doing maybe fire pokers, traditional Viking style brooches, all sorts of things like that. I want to have a go at a lot of things. I don't want to just make flint strikers, even though this forge was made just for that. So obviously I'm not going to be able to forge a great long knife in this forge. I can make small ones and make small crafts, but for larger things, well, I'd have to build another forge. But that's no problem. Like I say, when you can make things out of recycled materials, it's not costing you money, so it's not that feeling that, oh, I'm out of pocket all the time. And obviously this is will be powered on charcoal, but I probably might end up buying coal at some point because I'm going to run out soon, and we haven't got enough, rubbish to burn to put my steel barrel on, which is over here. It's all ready. It's loaded up with some oak, which I've been saving every time I do some branch cutting that I need to do for mowing and wind damage, that sort of thing. So bit of garden wire just on here to stop that from flicking open. Just a note saying if anyone does come in the back of here, please don't throw this, because it's mine for making charcoal. And obviously when I get it out the fire, I just plug the hole, let it cool down, and I've made charcoal. But to learn how to make charcoal, charred items and things like that, there's other videos on my YouTube channel. So that's what I'm up to at the minute. I've just come back in from well, we've been out, should I say. We've been out with another scout group fixing their water pipe for them, which is a first, really. Normally we're just always here, working here. So apologies for talking really fast, not breathing very much. But yeah, I just wanted to have a quick update, and I fancy doing some more YouTube again. So yeah, another day I'll think about it. I have thought when I brought the forge out last time about sticking a camera stand up and try and get a bit of footage for you, showing you me forging something. But yeah, I'll think about it, because tomorrow I'm bringing the forge again to work, so I'm hoping the weather's going to be okay, as I'm going to wait a couple of weeks until I use this one to make sure it's fully dried properly, so I don't have any cracks or explosions. Because I did warm this one up before it was fully set, and even though I've hammered it in, I don't know whether you'll be able to tell. Maybe if I had the flash on, you would have seen that this bottom bit here is ridged up a bit like a V. And is there any mark? Yeah, you can see the piece blew off there. It got that hot with the gas torch in it. Oh dear, it's not light, this thing, and that thing we're getting it way trying to do it one-handed. The pressure built up, so the steam blew inside, which shoved this steel inwards and jetted steam out here when it was stood upwards. But it's fully gone off now, and it is rock solid. I did put this in though a lot wetter than what I cast that, so fingers crossed, because I've painted it. It looks really nice, and I just hope it's going to work really well. Yeah, I've got bits and bobs all over, save things that I think might come in handy for something else. Bits of wood, bits of rope, bits of board, toilet seat. Yeah, all sorts of bits of wood. This here is quartz. Easy to find here. It's everywhere. Very hard to break, but once you have broke it, it's got a very good edge, and it throws sparks just as good as flint. But it's literally everywhere here. I have got a bucket full of flint at home because I collect it when I go to the beach. But yeah, another one you can add to your flint and steel kit. I would have showed you some, but I've took it from the side and chucked it in my bag and I've put it away. So under here I've got some different woods. I've got some willow seasoning, some sycamore, some oak, probably some yew, yeah, for carvings. And then over here I was clearing up a sweet chestnut the other day. You can see it was rotting on the outside, a bit like oak does, and then it's good in the middle. That branch had been down for probably 6 months, but there was still obviously moisture in there. It smelt like tobacco when I cut it. It had a real strange smell. But what I thought is that another day, when I've done all these projects, I'm going to make a bowl out of this. I haven't got is it an adze? No, there's another tool. A bit like an axe, but it's like that. So you chop into it and to make a bowl. But I've got some gougers, so I'll make a bowl out of one of these, I think. Or a cusker. We'll see. But at the minute, I'm enjoying my metal work. And I will do some more spatulas. But at the minute, it's metal work for me. I'm enjoying playing with that. And then in the summertime, just back up a bit. We're going to get the canoe out again and we're going to get into the lake. Now, this has blown a bit now. The plywood's delaminating, but we're going to see what we can do. Get it in the lake and maybe strap some barrels to it or something, but it will float again. Right, I've talked really fast as I wanted to keep it a short video. So I'm going to say bye for now and thanks for watching Simon Outdoors. I'll see you soon. Maybe show you some forging. Bye for now.